Alright guys, so what I did was I actually loaded again and I got the same bullshit. I started a new game, I got the same exact thing. And so what I did was I turned off my console. I realized I didn't do an update for PSN, so I did that just to be safe. And she's working now. I don't know what the hell was that was all about, man. I really don't. But it almost made the game impossible to play. So that's a failure though, isn't it?
This morning's newspaper. Holmes, have you read this article about you?
No, Watson, not yet, and I won't have time to.
Read it before you leave. It's outrageous.
If you insist.
Alrighty, see, we didn't have any of this crap before. No, this one. Read the article. Sherlock Holmes at the home of the Marquess of Conyngham. See, that's Marquess. I don't know. The investigation is a fiasco. Yesterday, the celebrated detective Sherlock Holmes was invited to the manor of the Marquis. I'm going to call him the Marquis because that's what he is. The Marquis of Conyngham to supply his conclusions. Following his investigation into the disappearance of the priceless Samoan necklace, it should be recalled that the lady called in the detective after the police appeared, flummoxed in the face of the astonishing circumstances surrounding the theft. Holy crap. Surrounding the theft. Indeed, the valuable piece of jewelry disappeared while the door to the room in which it was displayed was locked. The alarm was raised by the servants, alerted by the room service bell ringing out during the night. When the Marquis, the only person in possession of the key, opened the door, everyone rushed in to extinguish a fire that had started before it was noticed that the necklace had mysteriously vanished. The most astonishing factor is that no thief was found within the room, and all the exits were closed. As usual, Mr. Holmes resolved the case in the twinkling of an eye, and the jewel was recovered. I will not waste my time on the various explanations as to the disappearance because I would prefer to draw your attention, dear readers, to the last surprising development in the case. Following the departure of Sherlock Holmes, who placed the necklace in the safe himself, the Marquis noticed that the jewel was nothing but a poor copy of the original. Let it be forgotten that the Samoan necklace, although plain and without ornament, is unique because of the rarity of its pearls. Pearls which are found only in a small part of the lagoon of the archipelago of the same name, and to which scientists attribute their exceptional quality to the strong density of crystal of aragonite that they are made of, the priceless necklace. Oh my god, how many fucking pages? Should I still read them? Brought here at the beginning of the century by Lord Fenton Arwick, the Marquess's grandfather, and oh god, fuck, I don't care. For a fake by Mr. So they basically are trying to blame him. You guys can pause at each page if you want to read them, but there's too much to read here. I'll just paraphrase. Famous detective, global Spanish reservations of Sherlock Holmes methods, Snoop and the Frenchman. Yes, I did not hesitate to attack that on part of the latter. Holmes, it is quite apparent that his character traits show more opportunism and brilliance than Bob Blue. Indeed, the behavior blue. Disregard Sherlock Holmes' reputation. Permanent questions found already a fake. As the detective, some unsavory interest in the affair. As an excellent humble servant to continue revealing the public. Okay. Okay. That is quite enough.
Prince Woodville, French culinary expert and bagpipe player, might be our next king. That's not so shocking, my dear fellow.
You know exactly to which article I'm referring, Holmes. How can Farley dare to tarnish your reputation like that?
You know, Watson, that wherever glory walks, jealousy is bound to follow. As for the forgery of the necklace, I suspect that we shall soon be enlightened in this regard. Come in, Inspector Baines. The door's open.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. How did you know I was here?
You are one of our rare visitors who avoids the second-to-last step of the stairs, which creaks dreadfully. And if I add the clinking of the handcuffs at your belt, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit, Inspector?
Have you read that rag?
Slander or necklace, I can choose, huh?
Inspector, can you explain this slander? Has the necklace of the Samoas really been replaced by a fake?
I don't know how the reporter got hold of the information, but it's true. About the necklace, of course. I wouldn't permit myself to question the integrity and honesty of Mr. Holmes.
The necklace is a forgery? Impossible! I saw the Marquis authenticated before my very eyes, before Holmes returned it to its place.
Mr. Holmes, the Marquis believes Osmond Farley's theory. I shouldn't be surprised if the reporter isn't behind all this slander about you. He's a freelancer, well known for his explosive and subjective articles. In any case, the Marquis assures us that you were the last person to have the necklace in your hands.
Let's return to the Marquis's house, Holmes. I'm sure that we'll have no trouble in taking apart this theory.
It is unnecessary. Such allegations collapse on their own, like one of Mrs. Hudson's soufflés. Let us leave the police to solve this problem and turn our attention to the matters in hand.
Perhaps you are right, Holmes.
Necklace.
Inspector, I assume that you have the fake necklace with you. It's why you're here. Your superiors would like me to examine it.
Indeed. They would like you to confirm or deny putting this fake in the box.
Can't that wait? I must go to the house of Lord Peregrine Maitland, the Bishop of Knightsbridge. And the Marchioness?
She is beside herself. Without the necklace, her marriage is compromised. It is the principal item of the young woman's dowry.
What a lovely marriage. Holmes, forgive me for insisting, but don't you want to examine the fake jewelry?
Watson, I have an appointment, and it's out of the question that I arrive late.
It will only take you a couple of minutes. You really must quell the suspicions put forward in this appalling article. If you will allow me, Inspector?
Be my guest.
Very well.
God damn. Alright, let's take a look at this bitch. Find out the necklace is not authentic. Jesus. Oh, look at that, huh?
These 3 pearls are of poor quality.
That too.
This pearl is a different color.
What a piece of crap!
This pearl is too small. It is not in its place here. Too many defects. This necklace is a fake.
Wow, I'll say.
This is nothing but a vulgar copy, and at a glance it would appear that the forger has intended for it to be seen as such.
How could we have been fooled by such a blatant imitation? I don't understand.
Yes, how is it possible? Holmes, do you have a theory about this?
I have absolutely no idea. You insisted that I examine the necklace, and I have done so. Now it is important that I keep my appointment. I'm sure, Inspector, that you will throw some light on this affair.
Holmes.
You may accompany me, Watson, if you care to do so.
Goodbye, gentlemen. I'll keep you informed as to my inquiries.
Goodbye, Inspector. You mentioned a bishop, didn't you? Are we going to his home?
Yes, the Bishop of Knightsbridge. I put his address on our map of London on my desk. Would you get it for me, please?
All right, Holmes.
Okay, yourself. Oh, I'm controlling Watson right now? God damn it.
Have you found my map of London?
Yes. Dude, he was closer than me. Oh my god. Holmes, you are a lazy
I have found
bastard.
your map.
How can you find it? He told you what the hell it was. There, that's where we're going. That first glitch I got was huge, man. I was able to open the door and everything. It was majorly fudged up.
The police? Already? How did you know?
May we see the Bishop of Knightsbridge?
Yes. Yes, of course. But come in.
What has happened, Reverend?
What?
I don't know. It was last night, I think. I only just arrived, and I have made this macabre discovery. My God, how horrible. I haven't called anyone. How did you know that?
Wait, what's happened?
Holmes, look!
The Bishop. appallingly mutilated.
Oh my
How
god.
dreadful.
Mutilated. And killed. He was such a good man. How could anyone be so brutal? Look at him. He's barely recognizable now. How could any of God's children be responsible for that?
They were evidently unworthy children, Reverend. Now do please try to calm yourself and focus, because we will need your assistance. Do you have any idea as to the motive behind this?
I haven't had time to do an inventory, but nothing appears to have been stolen. And anyway, His Excellency didn't own anything of great value. I don't know what else I can tell you.
Note this down, please, Doctor.
Was he been banging little children?
But you aren't the police?
No, Reverend. I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. Watson. We are here at the request of the Bishop.
In that case, I must ask you to leave, and not to touch anything. I must get in touch with the authorities without further delay.
Reverend, when the inspectors of Scotland Yard find themselves at a dead end, which they quite often do, I assure you, then they turn to me for help. If you will allow us to continue our investigation, then you shall have the answers to all of your questions.
Out of the question! I don't even know you! I'm going to call the police, whether you like it or not.
Go
It would
ahead.
be better for everyone, Reverend, if you kept your temper. Watson, are you taking notes? This affair promises to be a complex one. Therefore, we must not overlook the slightest detail.
Yes,
He
Holmes.
seems upset.
I'm keeping a meticulous set of notes. I have created a very clever deduction board. One thing we can be sure of at the moment is that this crime was not for gain. The Reverend has informed us that nothing valuable was stolen, and indeed, it would seem that the Bishop had nothing of any worth to take.
Very good, Watson. Do continue.
Huh. Well, make the right deductions based on the facts you have. The Bishop didn't own anything of value. Okay. This is cool, man. Alright, let's see. Let's look at stuff on the floor. What's this?
A broken phial and blood near the neck.
What a strange smell. Chemical components, I think.
What's this?
This stove is filled to overflowing.
Huh. What else we got? Anything of interest?
There is blood on this paperweight.
There's blood on everything, bro. He was mutilated with everything. Let's get a better view here.
A broken bottle of whiskey. However, the Bishop of Knightsbridge was known for his sobriety.
Huh.
A bottle of whiskey. I can make out fingerprints stained with blood and dirt.
It would seem that the brutes who tortured the Bishop to death were intoxicated with alcohol.
Seems that way, doesn't it? Let's go check out the Bishop himself. Hold up. Actually, before we do that, let's see if there's anything around the room we can look at.
The picture of Peregrine Maitland, commander of the infantry brigade of Her Majesty's Guards at Waterloo.
The Bishop of Knightsbridge has the same name as his ancestor, an illustrious family.
I see that.
I am missing some information.
Alright, well, let's not go here
Reverend, I'm missing something. An implement with which to open this chest. Could you tell me where to find it?
No! Go to the devil!
What are you afraid of, Reverend? What is inside the chest?
I'm not afraid of anything. In fact, I do have the necessary implements, but if I have to give them to anyone, it will be to a representative of the law and no one else.
yet. God, this guy's an asshole. You know what, before we forget anything, let's just go talk. Let's just go talk. Yeah, let's go talk to this Bishop. Mr. Bishop, are you okay? Check out his face. Wow, he's beat to shit.
You can see by his expression that he suffered terribly.
His mouth is covered in blood, and I can make out strips of skin between his teeth.
Oh.
His chest has been lacerated, I would say, with a very sharp and fine blade.
Damn. What else we got here?
The fingers have been crushed and violently struck.
Yeah, they look at his fingers. Oh my god. Look at this one.
The
Looks completely
fingers
broken
have been
back.
crushed and violently struck.
Completely bent back. Anything penis related?
His stomach is covered in scratches. Quite evidently, they weren't made recently.
So, these wounds were not made by his murderers.
Nothing here. Anything at his feet?
These burns are terrible.
They tortured the living shit out of him. How about his feet?
His feet have been burned.
Damn.
My first impression is that he wears a size 9 shoe.
You! But what does it matter, Holmes?
A
this
finger.
thing?
Apparently,
Oh.
it doesn't belong to the Bishop of Knightsbridge.
Oh, wow.
How dreadful.
God, these guys speak like... I don't know. Anything else? Ropes? Ah.
A piece of rope that was used to tie up that poor man.
Anything else? Oh, shit. Yeah, I don't see so. I don't see anything else. It tells you what's been done. Oh, what's this? Apparently I don't have everything. Aha.
His forearms have been ripped. Pieces of skin have been torn off. What do you think, Watson?
I'd say that he was eaten alive. Yet I've noticed a curious degeneration of the skin tissue around the wounds.
My dear friend, everything points to this man having gnawed at his own forearms.
That's
Really?
unbelievable, Holmes.
Wow, I didn't even see that. Probably with so much pain he had to bite into something. Okay, everything's found there. Oh, his leg. Apparently I haven't found everything here. Ah.
This poor man was tied just below the knees.
To stop him from walking, certainly, but mostly to free his feet.
My God, Holmes, this man was horribly tortured.
You just clued in that now? Are you serious? Okay, everything. I think we've expected all he has.
Something is missing here.
Oh,
Is it?
yes? And what might that be?
His shoes. Watson, his shoes are missing.
Where are they? Okay, let's see. What else? I wonder if they've been put in here. What's under here? Ah, here's some of the things that were
This
used.
metal rod is for fastening the chilies. It's a cilice designed to bruise the person wearing it. The bishop wore it as repentance.
Really?
A whip?
No,
What?
it is a discipline for self-flagellation. This very pious man must have had the habit of mortifying his flesh as a means of repentance.
You know what that reminds me of? Did anybody ever, if you didn't read the book, did you ever see, what was it called? The Da Vinci Code? There's that one monk there. He was like a, he was an albino monk who would sin. He would kill people, and in order to pay his sins, he would whip himself and pretty much self-mutilate himself. It's pretty messed up. But anyway, that one's done. I can't get in there yet, so let's look around a bit.
Closed. The veranda door hasn't been forced. Strange. Reverend, might I have the key?
No! You have no authority here. Let me call the police.
This guy's
Perhaps we should
pissing me
listen
off.
to him, Holmes.
Perhaps you should let me get on with this, Watson.
Why is he being such an asshole? You know what? Let me deduct some stuff. If it'll let me deduct stuff. Alright. The veranda wasn't searched. Hold up. Before we do that, let's check lack. Bishop's shoes are missing. Doesn't apply here. Chest. We're unable to open the safe. Torture. Petulance. The bishop was mortifying himself. He was used to pain. The bishop resisted torture. The bishop punished himself. No. I'd say it was this. He resisted torture. Or did he? I don't know. Let's find out. Anything else? Gnawed at himself. Flask. The broken flask has some blood at its top. Murders made the bishop. No. The murderers made the bishop drink the contents of the flask. It's possible they did that, but I'm gonna keep looking here and see what we can do. What's this? A scalpel of some sort?
A surgical scalpel covered in blood.
Probably from
There
the
isn't
cuts.
any doubt. The wounds on the bishop were administered with this scalpel.
Yeah. What's this?
Watch where you're putting your feet, Watson. Have you noticed these prints upon the ground?
Well, yes, those muddy marks.
See here, Watson. Footprints can often provide more vital information than the very best of informants.
Yes, if you know how to make them talk, that is.
It's child's play, Watson. We will begin by excluding the contaminating prints, which are yours and mine from where we came in, and those of our dear Reverend who was so impatient to call the police.
Asshole. Oh, what's this?
A fragment of stone. Peculiar. This print came from an expensive pair of shoes, and it seems recent. It is not a laborer's shoe.
Huh.
Well-worn shoes with an odd pattern on the soles. Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers. Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers. Hobnail boots
Okay,
like
I get it.
Hobnail boots like those. This print came from an expensive pair of shoes, and it seems recent. It is not a laborer's shoe.
Check this out.
Size 9.
That could be.
Size 9.
Huh.
Size 9.
God, everyone's got a size 9.
Size 9.5.
Ah, the laborer's shoe's a little bigger.
Size 9.
Shit.
Size 9.5.
So these two are 9.5. So let me check these questions.
I need something.
I think there was just one. Hold up, wait a minute, hold on. These two are both 9.5s, right? So let's take this and see what he says.
Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers. Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers.
Okay, so these two are probably the same one.
Well-worn shoes with an odd pattern on the soles. Hobnail boots like those. Hobnail boots. This print came from an expensive pair of shoes, and it seems recent. It is not a laborer's shoe.
I think there's two.
That's not right. Start again.
Really? One?
That's not right. Start again.
There's three of them. There's got to be three.
Perfect. We now know that there were 3 crooks.
I forgot it excluded the recent people, so there's 3 different shoes. I didn't know that. One man joined those who were already in the room. One man left wearing different shoes. One man was carried. I'm gonna say one man
Strange but true. One of the crooks was wearing a different pair of shoes when he left here.
Probably the bishops. I'll bet you
Therefore,
anything.
we have 3 men who came in and left again. But one of them was wearing a different pair of shoes from the ones which he came in with.
So, all we have to do is look for a workman who likes Italian shoes.
Yeah, not necessarily. Can we question this dickhead? Anything else we can find? He still won't give me anything, right? What's this do?
This door has not been forced. Where does it lead, Reverend?
To His Excellency's room. There is just a mattress and a stool.
Oh God. What's on the room? What's on the mattress? Was he raped?
The bishop's bedroom. It is very austere. Nothing in particular here.
Pretty small, if you ask me. You gonna let me in?
Closed.
Tell you what, let's do some deductive reasoning.